Collinwood. It must be very old, and it shows the house is a beautiful old place." "It was," the tall, handsome Englishman said, staring at the gaping cellar again. And then he gave her a quick glance with those hypnotic, deep-set eyes and quietly added, "What I mean is, I'm sure it must have been. Such a magnificent location, and the cellar indicates how large it was. Tragic that it should have been ravaged by fire." "I've always felt so," she agreed. "Roger Collins claims a lot of the stones that didn't topple into the cellar were stolen over the years by people in the area who wanted to use them for building. Of course, he feels this was very wrong, since Stormcliffe was part of the Collins property." "I can sympathize with Cousin Roger in this," Barnabas said with a sigh. He pointed his silver-headed cane in the direction of the dark mass of Collinwood and added, "It's not more than 5 minutes to the main house." "I know little about Stormcliffe or who lived in it," Victoria said. "But then, I haven't been here long." Barnabas regarded her with interest. "So I understand. Shall we take the path along the cliffs on the way back? It's longer, but interesting just as night falls. And we have each other for company." "I'd like that," Victoria said. She had worn a light sweater over her sleeveless dress, since even in summer nights in Maine generally held a certain chill. Tossing back her shoulder-length black hair, she began to slowly stroll with the impressive stranger to the edge of the cliffs. It was so close to darkness that she could barely make out his face. He swung the black walking stick with a certain grace as he kept in step with her. Then, far above them, a gull circled and uttered a melancholy cry that, for reasons unknown to her, suddenly sent a chill racing through her slim, youthful body. Barnabas must have sensed her feeling of sudden fear, for he glanced at her as they continued along the path by the cliff's edge. "Night's black mantle covers all alike," he said with an unexpected gentleness as his hand touched her arm. "You must not fear it." She forced a smile on her sensitive face. "I guess I might as well admit it. I share that fear with most people. A dread of the unknown. A terror of what the shadows may hold." "You must try to conquer your fears," he went on in the same soft voice. "Night is a blessed time between day and day. It is only in these hours I feel truly alive." The touch of his hand on her arm thrilled her. She glanced up at his shadowy figure. "You do enjoy the dark, don't you?" she said. "In fact, I never have seen you during the daylight hours." He laughed lightly. "I claim the eccentricity due an author. I become so absorbed in the notes for my book, I don't like to be disturbed from my desk during the day." "But you shouldn't work too hard at it." Far out at the end of a breakwater, a lighthouse flashed a fingered light of warning across the darkness. "And what about you?" he demanded. "Aren't you a kind of slavey for Elizabeth and the family? I'd say you are the one who works too hard." "Not really," she told him in a serious voice. "Elizabeth and the others have been good to me, and I like all the work I'm doing. I came here as a tutor for David, but I became more a companion to Elizabeth." "Elizabeth tells me you've had an unhappy love affair," Barnabas said as they walked on. "Yes. Ernest Collins was killed just as we were about to make plans for our wedding," she said in a small voice. "I haven't really gotten over it yet." "Tragic romance is not easy to bear," Barnabas said with understanding. "I have reason to know." She looked up at the tall, shadowed figure. "But you must be very happy," she protested. "I can't think of you having any romantic troubles."